Hey everyone, welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, where we break down everything happening behind the scenes in global finance, currency reform, and the much anticipated revaluation. Now, listen carefully because today's update isn't just another rumor or a recycled headline. What's happening right now feels different. All signs are aligning, and the buzz inside the financial world is getting louder by the hour. If you've been waiting for solid movement in the Tier 4B exchange process, this could be the most important update you've heard all year. We're not talking about speculation anymore, we're talking about preparation. Banks are ready, systems are tested, and the word across private financial networks is that the final steps are already in motion. So grab your coffee, take a breath, and stay with me until the end because by the time we're done, you'll understand exactly why insiders are calling this moment the closest we've ever been to Tier 4B going live. Let's start with the atmosphere in the financial community. For months, we've watched Iraq rebuild and restructure at an incredible pace. What used to take years is now being completed in months. The Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, has moved from old manual systems into a fully digital banking environment. Every report points to the same direction: complete modernization and readiness for global integration. The digital Dinar framework is live, interbank settlements are functioning, and foreign transfer systems are now directly connected with major international institutions. This kind of progress doesn't happen by chance. It happens when there's a bigger plan in motion, and it's clear Iraq has been executing that plan with precision. Every piece from government payroll digitization to new anti-smuggling protocols tells us that they're getting ready for something monumental. Now, let's talk about what Tier 4B really means, because there's still confusion out there. In simple terms, the global revaluation, often called the RV process, is being rolled out in stages known as tiers. Tier 1 includes central banks, governments, and big international players. Tier 2 involves corporations and humanitarian groups. Tier 3 includes structured groups and private exchange projects. And then comes Tier 4, which splits into two parts. Tier 4A is for certain government-connected or military individuals. Tier 4B, though, is for everyday private holders, people like you and me who've been holding on to dinar, dong, or zim waiting for this day to come. And right now, according to what's unfolding, Tier 4B is closer than anyone thinks. The most talked about name in this process right now is Wells Fargo. Over the past several weeks, multiple financial insiders and professionals have mentioned that Wells Fargo has completed internal preparations for handling foreign currency exchanges connected to Tier 4B. That includes training, specialized staff, setting up secure exchange locations, and updating digital appointment systems. Think about that atop US. Bank investing in secure infrastructure specifically for foreign currency exchanges at this scale. That's not a small operation. It shows readiness. Insiders say those preparations aren't future plans, they're done. The systems are in place, the software is tested, and everything is waiting for a simple go signal. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Over the last few weeks, reports have mentioned that Tier 1 funds have already been positioned, Tier 2 distributions are progressing, and Tier 3 groups are finalizing their payouts. That sequencing is vital because Tier 4B only begins once the earlier stages are confirmed and stable. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening. Everything seems to be lining up right now. It's like watching the final pieces of a puzzle slide perfectly into place. When the first and second weeks of November 2025 were mentioned as a possible activation window, many brushed it off as another rumor. But this time, it's backed by visible movement, digital connections, bank readiness, and international financial synchronization. Let's zoom into Iraq for a moment because that's where the entire foundation of this story sits. Iraq has made remarkable changes since mid-2025. They've modernized their banking network, linked private and public banks to the CBI's secure digital grid, and expanded the use of electronic payment systems nationwide. Salaries for government employees are now distributed through verified digital accounts, cutting out the old manual process that caused delays and corruption. They've also tightened control on currency outflows and black market exchanges, a massive step towards stabilizing the dinar's value. And perhaps the most telling sign of all, the draft for Iraq's 2026 national budget includes language referring to exchange rate reforms. That's not speculation, that's preparation. When it comes to coordination, the Central Bank of Iraq has reportedly completed all necessary testing with global financial systems. International money transfer mechanisms, SWIFT integration, and new digital channels are all operational. These are not random upgrades, these are specific requirements for currency revaluation and international trading. Think of it like rewiring an entire country's financial backbone so it can connect seamlessly to the world economy. Once that's complete, which it now is, the country can move to adjust its currency value without internal system failure. The groundwork is finished. And that's why so many in the financial community are calling this the most legitimate setup they've ever seen for a potential revaluation event. So, why is Wells Fargo the center of attention right now? It's because they've reportedly been designated as a lead clearing bank for U.S. exchanges during Tier 4B. In plain language, they'll be among the first institutions to handle appointments and verify foreign currency for public exchange holders. Over the last month, staff at select Wells Fargo branches have been undergoing quiet internal briefings. Security systems have been upgraded, and several regions have set aside special facilities intended for controlled private exchange appointments. Even though there's no public announcement yet, all of these preparations align perfectly with Tier 4B expectations. It's not hard to see why the buzz is growing. Everything matches the operational playbook for activation. The pattern we're seeing globally follows a clear path. Financial markets are preparing for a new liquidity cycle, and Iraq's moves align with that window. Typically, large currency or fiscal shifts happen when international systems can absorb liquidity without major disruption, and the early weeks of November fit that scenario perfectly. Add to that the fact that Iraq's budget discussions for 2026 are concluding in the same timeframe, and you've got the perfect alignment of timing, readiness, and structure. It's like a synchronized clock, every component moving toward one single point. Let's take a minute to break down what the actual process will look like when Tier 4B begins. Once the system is officially activated, banks such as Wells Fargo and a few partnered institutions will release secure notifications. These will not be random messages or unverified emails. They'll come through legitimate protected channels. Recipients will be able to schedule private appointments where they'll bring their currency for verification. At those appointments, currencies like the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and Zimbabwe Zim will be scanned, authenticated, and valued based on live rates. Exchange rates may vary slightly depending on whether individuals qualify for standard or humanitarian rates, but the structure will remain consistent, organized, secure, and officially supervised. The biggest piece of advice for anyone watching right now is patience. If you've held your currencies this long, don't rush when the time comes. Be calm, stay alert, and verify everything through official sources. There's no reason to panic or jump at unverified messages online. The banks will handle this in a controlled way to avoid chaos. You'll have time to set your appointment, review your options, and make informed choices. This is the moment investors have been waiting years for, and it deserves careful, thoughtful action, not fear or confusion. Behind the scenes, the cooperation between the U.S. Treasury, the IMF, and Iraq's central bank has reached a point of full synchronization. That's something we haven't seen before at this level. All financial systems involved in settlement and reporting are compatible, digital, and secure. This means that once the green light is given, no additional delay is expected due to technical or administrative issues. The system isn't just ready, it's running quietly in the background. Think of it as a launch pad that's been built, fueled, and tested. All it needs now is the final countdown command. And speaking of countdowns, that's exactly how experts are describing the current stage. Not speculation, not planning, but countdown. A structured sequence of financial events leading to public activation. Tier 1 and Tier 2 funds have reportedly been positioned. Tier 3 group exchanges are finalizing, and Tier 4A notifications have already circulated among certain government-connected individuals. The only tier remaining is 4B, the public tier. That's the one everyone's waiting for, and the one that connects everyday holders to the larger international reset. It's what transforms global readiness into individual opportunity. Now, when you hear people saying it's closer than anyone thinks, that's not just hype. It's based on observable actions. Bank systems across multiple countries have completed simultaneous upgrades. Exchange centers in the US have finished security and training exercises. Iraq has officially activated its cross-border settlement platform. The IMF has signed off on Iraq's latest monetary framework, and the Treasury has verified compliance for digital exchanges. Those are measurable, documented changes, not rumors. When all of that happens at once, it's no longer a matter of if something is coming, it's a matter of when. As we move deeper into November 2025, everything from oil contracts to trade balance reports hints at Iraq's growing economic independence. That's another strong signal. A country only takes these steps when it's preparing to reintroduce its national currency on a stronger footing. Local banks are now capable of international transactions, government projects are funded in local currency, and foreign investors are watching closely. This environment mirrors what many financial historians have described as the final stage before revaluation. The pieces are falling into place in real time. Let's talk briefly about what this could mean for global markets. When Iraq's dinar regains international strength, it doesn't just affect Iraq. It triggers ripple effects across the entire financial landscape. Oil pricing, regional investments, and even digital asset markets could feel the shift. Currencies connected to oil economies often influence liquidity cycles, and Iraq is one of the world's most significant energy producers. A stronger dinar can alter how regional trade is balanced, influence dollar demand, and reshape Middle Eastern investment flows. That's why major institutions, not just small investors, are paying such close attention right now. For those holding currencies, this next stage isn't just about sudden wealth, it's about strategic opportunity. Once exchanges begin, individuals will have a brief window to make wise choices, from setting up trusts and portfolios to planning humanitarian contributions or long-term investments. The real victory isn't just in exchanging currency, it's in using that moment to build stability, security, and growth for years to come. The focus should always be maturity, patience, and intelligent financial decisions. This process isn't designed for chaos, it's designed for change. As we get closer to potential activation, expect quietness, not noise. Historically, these transitions happen behind closed doors, with limited public leaks. Banks finalize everything quietly, systems synchronize silently, and then suddenly it's live. That quiet before activation is what we're witnessing now. There's less rumor chatter and more technical confirmation. That silence is powerful. It means readiness. It means the structure is stable and verified. It means the final countdown is truly underway. So, what can you do now? The best move is preparation. Keep your currency safe and documented. Make sure you know which bank branches near you are authorized to handle foreign exchanges. Review basic financial planning so you're ready when your moment comes. Stay away from hype and focus on verified information. And remember, patience is power. When systems are this close to completion, smart investors stay calm and focused. By all accounts, the next few weeks are critical. November 2025 is shaping up as the most significant window we've ever seen. Iraq's readiness, Wells Fargo's preparation, IMF and Treasury coordination, everything points toward activation. If you've followed this journey for years, this is the time to stay alert but patient. The movement is real. The structure is in place. And every signal we're watching says the same thing: it's closer than anyone thinks. This isn't just an Iraqi story anymore. It's part of a broader global shift. one that will redefine financial systems, digital currencies, and cross-border transactions for the next decade. What's unfolding right now could mark the beginning of a new era in how nations measure value and how individuals participate in global finance. The Iraqi Dinar revaluation is more than a local event, it's a signal that global balance is changing. As we wrap up today's broadcast, here's the takeaway. The stage is built, the systems are ready, the banks are waiting, and Tier 4B, your tier, is positioned for activation. Whether it happens in days or weeks, every indicator points to one truth. It's no longer a distant dream. The wait is almost over, so stay calm, stay prepared, and when the notifications arrive, step forward with clarity and confidence. Because this time, it truly feels like the final countdown. And that's your full update for today's Iraqi Dinar news broadcast. It's closer than anyone thinks. Wells Fargo Tier 4 B Dinar news today. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a single update. The coming weeks could be historic, and you'll want to be here when the next alert drops. Stay strong, stay patient, and remember history favors those who stay ready. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.